Yo, what is up? Good morning, everybody. Frankie is in the house. We got a couple guys. So welcome. I'm going to pull up. I got a couple other screens. I'm trying to move around here. Market's actually kind of rippy this morning. Caught some good longs, closed them out. My day is for the most part done. But I did tell you guys, let me see if I can get this up. Let's see. I got Frankie here. Coke or Pepsi for paper profit? Oh man, we'll see. I got Frank and I got, let's see, Sharky is in the house. I don't have their videos, but if they want to hop on, they're more than welcome to jump in anytime. What's up, Frank? Where's Sharky?
What's up, Paper?
Sharky might be trading. I see him, but I see his thing, but I don't see him yet. But here, this is what we're gonna do. I told everybody that I had like top picks for 2024, and I do. So the way that I did this, and I did this once last year, I picked 5 stocks, and I own all 5 of these stocks, and they're not like these aren't like these are the top 5 stocks that I think are going to outperform. Like each one is going to be like a complete banger. They may be, they may not be, but they're a balanced pick. So here's how it works. Here's how they went. I wanted to pick one stock from each category that I think was actually going to be a major outperformer. So number one, my top pick 2024, as you guys may or may not know, is going to be Snowflake. I think Snowflake for sure, best of breed from a data analytics perspective. If you don't know that, know that it's like literally AI is all about, like Snowflake is all about AI. Snowflake is the data lake of all data lakes. I can't really say enough good stuff about it. It's an amazing company. The CEO, Frank Slootman, literally came out of retirement to run this company. Prior CEO of Data Domain, acquired by EMC, acquired by Dell Technologies. But anyways, that's going to be my number one pick for sure. It's coming out of a 2-year consolidation base. My second one is not Coke. It's not Pepsi. I do like both of those. But you know what? The best performing stock in the S&P 500, if you didn't know, is actually Monster Beverage. Wild enough. Celsius has been on a tear. They had a little thing with I think it was Bing Energy, but I'm actually really liking Celsius. I like the way that it was acting, closing out the end of the year. The CEO was selling a bunch of shares right around $50, but it reminded me of when the Waltons were selling a bunch of Walmart at like 145, I think it was, and the stock would just kept defending, and people kept buying it as they were selling into it, and then sure enough, big old breakout. And I think that's exactly what we're seeing in Celsius. The next one's Boston Properties and Ulta Beauty. I think these two are some that were actually like completely beaten down, but they're kind of like best of breed in their respective sectors, if you will. Boston Properties, you guys would have to look into this. But both of these two sectors were completely toasted by the pandemic, right? Nobody was buying healthcare or beauty products when we're staying at home. Commercial real estate was dead as dead can be. Frank, I know, is in commercial real estate. He may not be a fan of this pick, but what I can tell you, man, is I live in Silicon Valley and traffic is wild. Sharky lives in New York, and I'm betting that traffic is still alive and well over there, or now it is back and thriving. And both of these stocks for sure are back into their uptrends, if you will. Quanta Services is just a staple for me. If you don't know that stock, the ticker is PWR. That is probably the best looking chart in the freaking market. Let me see if I can find my charts for you. Yeah, we'll just do them really quick. And I'll start with Quanta. And I will look at these on a weekly. PWR. Look at this chart. So Quanta Services, PDR, this is the backbone of the economy. Essentially, they're on the grid. We entered in the server right around 160, but we're kind of like retesting this 200 something. Nice little pullback here around 200. As long as she's holding, you should be good. It's probably going to print like a beautiful little cup and handle for you for any pattern traders that are out there. I like that pullback. Snowflake, number one. This is that 2-year consolidation, right here that we are probably going to be breaking out of. Celsius, CELH. This is, another beautiful chart. But again, right off that 200-day, we're accumulating in the group right around $50, just under $50. I think we're well on our way. These are longer holds, like for the year. Boston Properties, BXP. Again, entry was down here, but still, look at this breakout. We're holding over 70. This looks really good to me. I mean, from a technical perspective, there's a lot of room to the upside. And then Ulta Beauty. I mean, long and strong, man. Nice flag here. These are weekly charts, mind you. These all look really good to me. So those are my top 5, man. Anything you guys, or actually, Frankie, do I still have you? I may have lost them. I see.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You have me.
Nice. Oh, Frankie's got Dexcom. He did put Dexcom in there. Dexcom we love. Look at this weekly chart. That thing's nasty. Frankie's got a cost right around $70, 77. These guys were beaten up when, Lilly, Novo Nordisk, the GLP-1s, the weight loss pills just destroyed all the diabetes hardware makers. These do those, they do the insulin shot, the thing on your arm. Exxon Oxy thoughts. You know what? I do. I think they're good. And I know that there's some stuff going on with oil this morning. We're going to get into headlines and things like that. So by the way, if you're new, I did have the title as top 5 for 2024. So I wanted to hit you guys with that really quick. What we do here every week is we actually go over the headlines of the week prior, the weekend, and what we're going to be looking for moving forward. So I want to get that out of the way. Those are my top 5 for 2024. Take it for what you will. The way I put that together is, look, whatever the market does, I'm going to be safe, sleeping well at night with that mix. I got a little bit of everything. I got a little bit of safety. I got a little bit of dividend. I got a little bit of growth. I got some really good growth, and all of it is best of breed in their respective categories, and none of them are going to trade together. So I think you're balanced. I think you're clean. I think you're good there. Me. So moving forward, let's go ahead and get into this. Where were we? So we want to go to headlines. And Exxon Oxy, yeah, I think they're good here. Mara, so these guys are hitting it. So Mara, we do have. Let's do this in the recap. I didn't put the Bitcoin ETF headlines here. We do have Bitcoin ETF headlines that did hit this weekend. I think that the ETF approval is going to be pushed. It's expected next week, I believe. And so depending on the type of approval that we get, and we're going to have a handful of ETFs in the running right now that are lined up to be approved. If it's like this blanket approval, then I think Bitcoin, Mara, Riot, Coinbase probably all rally together. Is Ethereum, my bet would personally be on like Grayscale Ethereum Trust, which is ticker ETHE. Riot, Mara would be trades for me. They're not real companies, but I think you could be in for a beautiful trade, but not an investment, if you will. The ones I gave you would be like 1 year plus holds. The Riot, Mara, not so much. Coinbase, I've never not liked Coinbase. I loved it at 45, by the way, just saying. But that said, I think there's going to be, if it's just like one ETF approved and a couple others get denied, I think that could be a sell the news event. So I would be very cautious on that. So I do think it's going to come down to a lot of the news. Frank, did you find any news on the oil stuff this morning? So I know a lot of the energy sector was kind of getting crushed this morning. It looks like oil may still be kind of on a downtrend at the moment too.
Saudi Arabia cut their pricing, and they're putting out some more barrels. Everyone's cheating, so they're just catching up. And they're like, they're kind of throwing in the towel a little bit. So I think that's why you're
seeing they're releasing more production.
Yeah, 17,000 barrels more a day.
Ooh. That was not expected for sure, because I know that there were production cuts expected. So that's definitely going to hit the market as a surprise for sure. Yeah, so that's probably why we're seeing. That's definitely why we're seeing a little bit of a pullback. I mean, that said, in terms of Exxon or Oxy, we in America, like our refiners and producers, we're going to make money. They're all going to make money over $40 a barrel in crude. It's just a matter of your time horizon. Like, $95 on Oxy, I think is going to be the floor. I mean, on Exxon is going to be the floor. We're really close to that. That's just my technical view. on it. So we're really close. I think risk to reward is good, but I don't think that it's going to be flying anytime soon. There's an off chance that it does, but I don't know that it's like a big trade by any means. It's something I would comfortably sell puts on, if that makes sense, both of those, Exxon and Oxy, but not buy calls with any size, if that makes sense. John, I don't know who John that is. Ruru Ramon, I don't know. That's a toughie. I think they've had a big move already. It's a big move for sure. Lena's asking about PayPal. I think PayPal could technically be good for a bounce. And we'll get into these in a second. But I will say from an investment perspective, PayPal does not have leadership right now. So like to have a good trade or have a good investment, not trade, investment, two totally different things. To have a good investment, you have to have a really good visionary at the helm. And, unfortunately for PayPal, when they lost that leadership, you're just not going to get back to where you were. You're just not. It can be a value trap. I think it is a value trap, unfortunately. And there is a new CEO on board, but they're not coming from the same place that you would want to see for like a growth company. So I think, yeah, it's undervalued, no question, PayPal, but 70 maybe at most. But not like the rest. I think there's a lot of better bets. It could be kind of dead money for a long time until a plan comes out and people can get behind that new leadership team. So anyways, I'm going to move forward. I see your comments. I see your questions. I like them. I love them. I'm going to hide the chat for just a minute. You guys can keep throwing those tickers up, and if we have time at the end, we're going to get to them. But back to the headlines and things like that. So what we're going to do, so we did get a handful of headlines last week. So we did get FOMC minutes, and they came out last week a bit more hawkish than Powell kind of led on. So we had the FOMC announcement and the speech, and that kind of rallied the market coming into last week. And what happened was on Wednesday, we got the FOMC minutes. And the minutes, if you don't know, the minutes are really like the notes that the stenographers or whatever were taking in the back end before the speech was actually happening. And really what came out of that was that the market had taken an interpretation of Powell's speech, and they read it as, hey, look, we're going to be a lot more dovish, meaning that they thought that they interpreted the speech as, we can have a lot more rate hikes or rate cuts, coming sooner than later. And then when they read the notes, it sounded from the general presidents of the FOMC that, maybe it wasn't so dovish of a view. And the market's basically just adjusting to that. If you look back on the charts, we can see that actually, like, when the FOMC speech happened, we had this big push to the upside, and we almost retraced all of that when those minutes actually came out, very, very nearly all of that. And that makes perfect sense. So right now the market's going to be digesting that entire range, which again, from a fundamental perspective, makes perfect sense. When those minutes came out, that's essentially what we have up here, is that the bond traders showed basically a sign of rethinking this dovish pivot. So essentially reiterating, hey, look, the bonds actually came in a little bit, maybe not not pricing exactly the way that they were coming into the minutes. So now the forecast is for 4.25% by the end of next year. We also got non-farm payrolls, which is to me the most important number of the month every single month. That came in at 170,000 versus 216,000 expected. So remember, when we get these numbers, it's the deviation. Like, how much difference did the number come in versus what was expected? So that's a decent deviation. We got a decent move. But what I'd say is, when you look at this move, when you look at the move and you look at the numbers, so let me pull up the charts here just a little bit. And this is my main chart, and we're just going to go over to Friday. So this is an upside move, right? If we're just looking at this, and this is when we get our non-farm payroll number, this is what happens. And when you look at it, the numbers came in at 170,000 when the market was expecting 216,000. So help me understand why the market went up. last week I was talking about maybe seeing this little pivot where maybe bad news wasn't good news, but to me, this is clearly bad news now being good news. So what I need to see here, or what I'm going to be looking at moving forward, is I'm going to expect that bad news now is again good news for the market. So unfortunately, that's the trend. That's still intact. Bad news is good news. And then also, by the way, we revised the prior month up to 199,000 versus 173,000 before. So, I mean, more revisions. It's just a little funky. We got another employment report revision overstated by 439,000 in 2023 in general. Like, that's wild, right? A couple of the headlines, if you guys didn't know, I don't know what to tell you. The Boeing 737 MAX 9s grounded. One of the door plugs, they call it a plug, flew off. I mean, I don't know what to say on this one. Maybe it was time, maybe not. That is crazy. It just is what it is. So Boeing, you know, we had put out some short trades on Boeing early. Essentially, like when it was way up here. At this point, we're way down here. This is my targets, really acquired. You know, it's unfortunate for me. I didn't catch all this, but if you're in Boeing here now, I just think that this is gonna go. This is probably dead money for a while, right? Whenever the market makes a big giant move like this, it's gonna digest for quite a while. So give it a bit before you really do anything. All right. So that said, let's go ahead and get into it. We'll take a look at some of the other numbers. Oh, the rest of the numbers we got, really, it's going to be non-farm payrolls were the biggest thing that we got last Friday. There was one move after the NFP number that we got that did have a big market moving impact that I wasn't ready for, and that was the services PMI. ISM services PMI came in lower than expected. Again, bad news was good news for the market. It's not a big difference. So remember, when we're looking at this economic data, it's not, you know, what the number comes in at versus the prior, it's versus the consensus. Consensus was 52.6. We come in at 50.6. That said, anything over 50 on these numbers is expansion mode for the economy. We did come in at 50.6. So we're slightly in growth mode, but really not much. Services sector, that is the sector that we're really looking for to drive the GDP, to drive the economic growth. All right, so moving forward this week, here's the data, right? So the calendar is today, really not much. We do have a speech from Bostic. Tomorrow, nothing major. Imports, exports. We have another speech from Fed Bar. Wednesday, as always, we have our oil status report. We do have a 10-year note auction to Wednesday, and then another Fed speech by Williams. Thursday is our big day of the week. So Thursday, we get CPI, we get jobless claims, and we have a 30-year bond auction. And then Friday, we have PPI. So what I'd say is that after a big move like we've had so far, and if you're not familiar with how we trade or how I trade off this NFB level. So I'm looking at Friday's high and Friday's low right now. Friday was a little funky. You guys are texting me right now. And it moves it. Sharky's back. No, I can't hear you, Sharky. You're going to have to disconnect, reconnect. So I'm going to be looking for a clean open and close above Friday's high to really get bullish. Right now, I do not have that, right? So we've had a big move in general. This is that FOMC day that I was talking about here. And when I said we basically retraced all of that, look at this. So here's FOMC. Here's where the minutes came out right here. And since then, we have retraced all of that. And so the market's just digesting this entire range. And so honestly, I feel like we stay range bound until we don't have enough data to break the market out of this range. And I don't see us getting it until at least Thursday. So between now and then, honestly, I kind of feel like we're going to chop inside of Friday's range. From an NFP perspective, for our levels, it's a bit of a tough one like this Friday, because intraday we do have this low right here, but we had a heavy pre-market low down to 460, 475. No, Sharky's having connection issues. Sharky, can you speak? No, poor Sharky. Drop down and come back up, Sharky. No, you've never had connection issues like this. Poor Sharky. He's trying to do something. Sorry, man. All right. So right now, I see this Friday's high as our basically major spot. So I'm not ready to go long. I was long this morning up to 470. I'm fully closed. If we open above Friday's high tomorrow and trend higher, then sure, I'll be long. But I'm going to be cautious, super cautious through Thursday. I just don't see enough data to really press the market forward until Thursday. But I do think Thursday is going to be a big day for sure. And if we're below 466.50, then yeah, for sure, I see this range here filling. But that's it. And so until at least Thursday, I think we're very much range bound. So let me get back to the rest of the data points. And then Friday, we get PPI. So Thursday, CPI, Consumer Price Index, that is actual inflation. And I think that's going to be a huge number. The two bond auctions I have up here, the 10-year and the 30-year bond auction, I think those will be at least intraday market moving events for sure. They have been these bond auctions. The Fed just keeps flooding the market with liquidity. That's basically us issuing, the US government issuing credit. Basically, how do I explain this? It's almost like every time we do these bond auction, it's like increasing your credit limit on your credit card. So we keep spending more money. It's like, how do you pay for this, right? Like your bills are just going to keep piling up, and it's a little bit funky. Ooh, I see Sharky. There he is. Boom. I see you.
Did it work?
Yes.
Hey.
There we go. There he is. Frankie might have lost connection though. I don't know.
No, I wanted to chime in there because I was surprised at that ISM manufacturing, that really the market had quite the push off that.
Yeah, I was not, honestly, like on that day when we were, so this is Friday, right? We were here, and I'm just gonna drop back to a 3 really quick. Sharky and I Sharky, Frankie and I, we were all trading together, and I mean, we're trading our normal NFP stuff, right? And this candle, like right here, comes out of nowhere. I think we were both actually short. Maybe we were both short here.
I was, and I think Jordan was too. That was painful.
We're both short at this point, and not even thinking about ISM manufacturers. Like, we got NFP. NFP is the biggest number of the month every month. And then all of a sudden, like, this candle comes out of literally nowhere. I'm like, okay, what the hell? Anyways. Oh, you're having connection issues, Sharky. You just dropped again.
I'm still here.
Oh, your video dropped.
Yeah, just muted it.
Okay. Anyways, so that's where we are. And if we close today below or under 470, what I'd say for me, if you're watching this, like our crew, for me, I'm expecting chop, right? And I'm going to expect chop within Friday's range, however it is, right? If you're an option seller, I think that you can easily set whether it's like 470 to 465. I'd say 470, 465. I mean, I'd go out to Thursday and I'd go sell yourself a 5-point wide iron condor right now. And I'd go and I'd collect myself 50% of that with like today. True story. I kind of did that already because I don't see enough data in the market to move us past this point, right? And again, we've had a huge move. We're just kind of digesting this, and right now, today's the first day, by the way, that traders are really coming back into the market. So holidays are over. The new traders are coming back in. They got to get their bearings, right? So once they get their bearings, then we're going to be off and running, but it's not really going to come in until Thursday when we get that CPI number. So that's my view. And then Friday we get PPI and we should be off and running. That said, we are going to kick off earnings season pretty soon. So here's our view on earnings. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 quarters of earnings here. I track the Dow 30 components. So far, last quarter we did 25. Ooh, I don't have 30 there. I have 29. I'd have to go back. I'm pretty sure it's like 26, 3 and 1. 26 beats, 3 misses, 1 meeting expectation. That's pretty good, right? So we're on par for decent earnings. This quarter so far, we've just had Walgreens report of the Dow 30 components, which beat, by the way. And the financials start kicking us off. If you haven't been paying attention to the market, the financials have actually had their pre-earnings run up just a little bit. So I'd probably, JP Morgan kicks us off on Friday. United Healthcare, we do have Friday also. It used to be, if you're old school enough, you might remember Alcoa being in the Dow 30 or the S&P 500. And that used to be when they did it alphabetically at the beginning of earnings season, but not so much anymore. But now I think it's JP Morgan that really kicks us off. So that begins on Friday when the financials come in. So we have JP Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, BlackRock, Citi, Bank of BNY, all hitting Friday morning. We also do get Delta. So just as an FYI, I do believe United got hit just a little bit this morning, but quickly recovered. Some of those it was Alaska and United Airlines. Those are the 2 airlines that got grounded on the 737 MAX 9s, both of which recovered. I didn't check on my GE. Yeah, GE just took a little blip, quickly recovered. It's Boeing that's probably going to be stuck for a while. But anyways, earnings season kicking off, man. Kicking off pretty quick.
Yeah, no, I can't believe it's here already. I feel like we just got out of earnings season and now back we are again. And it'll be interesting to see certainly how JP Morgan does and Bank of America.
A lot of these things have had a really nice move coming in. Oh, look, I'm looking at JP Morgan now. Yeah. I mean, a lot of this pre-earnings run up, these guys are fading quickly. Ooh. Yeah, it looks like, BNY. What's BlackRock? I don't remember BlackRock's BLK. Some of that may have already faded. Usually these don't move a whole lot to be Morgan Stanley. Yeah, not major market movers. UNH has had a move already. Cool. I think we're good. Sharky, do you have anything to add before we go to your favorite segment?
No, well, we didn't really touch on the CPI that we have, I believe, Wednesday.
Yeah, well, Thursday. So here's the calendar. So CPI is going to be the market moving event of the week.
Wait, is that Thursday? I thought it was Wednesday.
It's Thursday morning.
Oh,
so good thing you came to join us, because if you were thinking that Wednesday was going to be the day, you would have been.
No, I looked at the calendar yesterday and I could have sworn I saw Wednesday. My bad.
So it's Thursday, right? So CPI is here. It shows up. The one that you're going to look at is it's core inflation rate. So there's 2. Oops.
I feel so like CPI,
there's 2 numbers, right? So there's, just for anybody that's new, they do this thing. I think it's the stupidest thing in the world. They separate the numbers to something called core and something called headline, which is regular. And core does not include food and energy. They also have something called the super core, which is like not including rent, food, and energy, as if we didn't pay for rent, food, or energy as like the largest part of our like stipend. But anyways, core does not include food and energy. That's going to be here. Headline is like your total inflation. And like the market's going to look really at the year over year number. Oops. Right here. So 4% is the core year over year number. 3.1 is the headline year over year number. And remember, so the Fed's target really is 2%. If we've had the last headline month over month was 0.1, the last core month over month was 0.3. And I can just kind of like drill into this. So what we're going to lose is a 0.1. And then we had a 0.5 and a 0.4. So probably not. if we get anything higher than 0.1 on the month over month, this might actually look really ugly. Based on this, dude, now that I'm looking at it. Yeah. If we come in and we're anything higher than like 3.3 on the year over year, so the market's pricing in like 6 rate hikes right now. And I was listening to somebody on CNBC this morning who sounded pretty sane. So sounded pretty good, was saying that like, okay, maybe 1.5 of that, 1.25 of that was like, for the who knows what. And in reality, it's maybe four rate cuts that are legitimately being priced in. But if you really think that 6 rate cuts are going to happen this year, then the only real situation that happens is like if shit hits the fan and inflation actually goes up, right? Like if inflation stays where it is and slowly goes down, we shouldn't have to hike, or we shouldn't have to cut very much. We should be able to like chill, do like once every other meeting, give or take. And that would be like maybe 4. That would be ideal. So yeah, if inflation comes in hot, I'm going to stick with the bad news is good news, and the market's going to price in probably a 7th rate cut, and we might rally. That's going to be my guess. All right. But yeah, it's just going to be like that. So if you have, so I'd be looking at the year over year headline. Consensus is coming in at 3.1. Core at 4, or core at 3.8. And then PPI is flat. So we'll see. You ready, Sharky?
Is it time?
It's time. So we did get a little note from our friend, Miss Cleo. So it is that time. We come over to our favorite part of the segment, Sharky's favorite part of the segment, my favorite part of the segment. Here we go. All right, Sharky. Did you read it this morning?
I was browsing over it. Yeah, very interesting.
Nice. It was interesting. So here's the reading. So we got our tarot reading Sunday night from Miss Cleo. The top card is the weekly, what we call the weekly theme card. If you didn't know, that's the weekly theme card. And then we have one card for each day of the week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Oh, geez. I've seen this card a couple times. This is the card. This is the what? 1, 2, 9 of swords. The one where the guys look like he's waking up out of a nightmare in a bloody bed. You see that? Anyways.
Yep.
Wait, this guy is like this is literally the devil card. That's tomorrow. Okay. So I don't know I haven't read this. So this is 7 of Cups. This looks like Green Day. This is tomorrow. Justice. All right. Is this like a judge? This is the Nightmare Day. And this is the Emperor. Let's see what she has to say. So, theme card is Strength. Really? Oh, this is Clifford. Yeah, the theme card is Clifford, the big red dog. Strength. Okay. So, what does Clifford says? This card appears when we're in need of strength to survive a difficult situation. It doesn't mean we'll crash, but it does mean we can expect weakness for most of the sessions. Okay. And I honestly think that's okay. Therefore, unless the daily cards indicate otherwise, it's probable we'll sell rallies rather than buy dips. Okay. So let's see what the daily cards say. You got that, Sharky? This was my kind of like rally or like recap. So Monday, she's saying false rally. Tuesday is tricky. Wednesday, she's saying trend day. Thursday is early selling. Friday is mean reversion. There will be weakness throughout the week, but we have plenty of chances to find our footing. False rally Monday, tricky day Tuesday, Wednesday trend, Thursday early selling, Friday back to the mean. Kind of what I was saying. That Iron Condor is gonna probably feel good. Monday, This card, this is the card of illusionary gains. Yes, that's the one, right? We'll see a rally that takes us to the place of euphoria. By the way, we were in our DMs between the three of us. Frankie opens with like trendy day, and I was like, yes, trendy day. Like the last 5 days, we've trended up in the morning, back right to the prior day's high / like key pivot, and then down in the back half of the day. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see a rally takes us a place of euphoria, only to sell off in the afternoon or late session. If we do not sell the rally on Monday, it will sell off overnight to Tuesday or Tuesday morning. Do not chase momentum, buy the low, and then sell the high. Okay. Tuesday is the devil. Major, I think this means strength. Arcana. Sharky, do you know what Arcana means?
It's the main cards, like the ones that don't have like a sword or pentacle or wand. So it's like the
Tentacles.
strength wand, justice, the fool, the magician.
All right, I'm gonna. This is why Sharky's here, because I don't know these things. To bind the spirit of the lovers. Huh? The devil binds the spirit of the lovers and submit them to his will. This leads us to all sorts of negative. Is there a way to get these readings? Yeah, Kurt, if Kurt wants the readings, yeah, we give them in the servers for sure. And submit them to this will. This leads to all sorts of negative patterns and behaviors. We may feel trapped or could see excess that defies the logic. This card is actually positive. The devil is positive historically, so the excess could appear in the form of a rally. The excess, it rarely causes a major sell event. So I think back to Friday's low. It seems to me that 7 of Cups brings a dip buy that may reward us on Tuesday. However, this energy should manifest early. If it does not happen, then chop is on the menu. Chop is on the menu. Wednesday, Justice. Back-to-back major arcana should keep things quite interesting into the middle of the week. Justice is almost always positive in the past, has brought very strong rallies. We even had a 5% SPX day under its watch. Whoa. However, the setup here is different. Wednesday, this is a day before CPI, so maybe some anticipation. However, the setup here is different from the bear market setup, so just expect a trend day that is quite obvious early. As I always say with trend days, wait for the wave, then ride it. This is a day to choose momentum. By the way, Miss Clear is pretty legit at calling the trend or the setup, not the trend. She's legit at calling the setup. She's not always legit at calling the outcome. I'll just say that. But she is legit at calling the setup. Would you say that's Ricky? I'm going to say that's fair. We're having Thursday, 9 of Swords. We're having nightmares again, which means we will see some overnight selling and a gap down. She's legit calling for a gap down or selling early in the cash session. I don't. You futures people know what the cash session is. The good news is that this selling usually stabilizes and finds its footing by the end of the day. This means you shouldn't short a hole and should instead be short, ready to take profit early and then reverse positions. Friday is the Emperor. He rules with an iron fist, eager to restore order and correct imbalances. This is the third major arcana card of the week, which suggests to me that it's either a news-heavy week or there's a lot of the market to digest. We may see big swings on the way here, which is why the Emperor arrives to bring things to a close. I'm not looking for a trend day. Instead, I'm looking to bring things back to the mean, likely to kill calls or puts, depending on where we're at when this card arrives. Still, he's not at all negative, so I wouldn't be short. We already read the recap. But here's what I want to do. I want to show you guys something as to why it's super important when we're in these type of setups. And I know it looks bullish right now. So if we do go, then we go. But we've been, let's see. This reminds me, maybe Shark remembers this setup. So when we have days like this or setups like this was August. So we have this big, crazy NFP day. And this is how I really play NFP and why I make it such a big deal to trade very carefully after non-farm payroll events. because fundamental events, like, they really, really, really do create your technical levels. This is what I hear being set up right now is like, we could trade. This is after a big move, very similar setup to what we're seeing right now. This was a Friday when we got our NFP in August, right? And it looked like we were going to break down. I don't know how many times, 1, 2, 3, and it just kept reverting. Big days almost every day, but it never really broke down until. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a full week of sideways action that we could be in for right now. So I would be cautious that we do have something like that, depending on how this ends up playing out. Right now, this is the key level, right? So as long as we're holding above 470 tomorrow, I'm going to be okay, and I'm going to be looking probably for this. Let's see. Do you have any level, Sharky, that you want to point out?
Well, we did break. It looks like we did confirm over that Friday high, the previous day high at 470.44. So
right now we are.
Yeah. So as long as we're holding over that, I was also watching this 171 area.
Yep.
We're only 20 cents above it currently. Let's see if we get an hourly close
Yeah.
or a 30-minute close over that.
So that's exactly where I'm going, right? So I think, if you're long right now, that's fine, right? I'm not going to swing any longs personally. I'm not going to swing any shorts either, if that makes sense. I'm going to wait for this to digest, right? We have a lot of data to go this week, but it doesn't show up until Thursday. If we open below 470, I'll be short tomorrow, but I'm only going to be short till like 466, if that makes sense. This is the next kind of like volume shelf between 472 and which like we was talking about 471.18, which is exactly 50% retracement from that last swing high to swing low here. It's about 471.60. If you want to grab the pre-market lows, like exactly, it's 471.08, which is probably what we're sitting on right now. 471.08. So that would be also exactly a spot where the bears would step in on you anyways. So I would be cautious. The day, we still have a lot of time in the day. It's barely the lunch hour. Let's see how the back half of the day trades. If we hold this, we should see that 472.55. That would be your next target, actually, on this setup. And that target would bring you into that kind of like golden pocket, which is right here, 473, just about 473 right here. And again, it's just going to be level to level for me right in here. But if we're holding this, we go here. If we fail 470.50, then to me, I'm going back down to Friday's low, intraday low. Below Friday's intraday low, I go 470.75. But I don't see enough data really to hold us completely out of this range. So I do like the range bound trade until Thursday still. But we shall see. We shall see. Any crazy setups that you're looking at right now, Sharky?
Really not too much. I think, I'm being cautious. I want to see, CPI has been interesting recently, unless it's really an outlier number. I don't know how much of a real reaction we're going to have. Seems like a lot of those numbers, as long as they're in line, have kind of been baked in. But it's still obviously a huge number. So it's definitely something we want to be cognizant of and pay attention to. So I'm going to be flying pretty cautious up until then, better safe than sorry, with these kind of things. But as it stands, it looks like we've clearly broken a new 30-minute trend, and the hourly trend is very, very close for me to be, confirming. So we're going to see. We're both on point with that same level is really the next big pivot of what we're going to need to really start seeing some strong closes over. It seems like, we're definitely looking a lot more constructive. But like I said, I'm not going to be swinging anything or doing much until later in the week.
Just careful for any new traders out there. The reason why that the three of us, or the two of us at least, are so cautious is this, right? So like the last few days, this is, so this is Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. This is our breakdown level, right? So we don't want to be caught.
Yeah, we're coming right up into
We
this
don't want to be
area
caught
here.
right
So
where we
We
broke
just
down heavily
yeah.
Thursday,
And
Wednesday.
NQ, we just hit the 9 EMA.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we just recovered like 5 days. Like I'm actually short 10 MNQ, which is a starter at almost. I'm short at 06. So I think I think my guess is we've seen the highs for the day, but I'm early, right? We'll
Could
see what
be.
happens in a couple hours. But
We'll see.
I have a starter short. I'll sell another 20 if it rallies a little higher. But like just watching it and seeing how far we've come. It's just like everybody's fresh off the barrel, back to work.
Yeah.
Let's take the market. It looked awful this morning with Boeing. Boeing actually opened on its lows and rallied 7 points.
Boeing
And-
had the whole market down on the downs,
Right.
dude, for sure.
And oil down 3.5, another bounce in the market. Now reality's setting in. It's almost 1:00. Apple's made a nice run off its low. AMD's up 7. I mean,
Well, so one thing
I
to
don't see a
note,
lot
right?
of upside today.
I think Nvidia did catch like a nice little upgrade, if you will. So this is the Qs. This is average weeks range. If we do trend all the way up, right, we could get to that 408. The Qs are significantly stronger than SPY right now. Significantly stronger. As an aside, right? And I think a lot of that has to do with Nvidia this morning. And Nvidia had a huge move. I think I saw it was like 515. Steven, by the way, dude, this is my boy. I love you, man. I love to see you, dude. You rock. What a move on Nvidia, right? Like what a move. I am not ready to call this. I saw some of our crew actually opening shorts. You never know. Ballsy, huh? Ballsy. But Nvidia, yeah, super strong. Huge move. I think there was somebody upgraded them or put them as one of their top picks. I don't remember who it was, but yeah, that's first impulse out of the range that they've been stuck in for forever. So I would not be surprised either if this does pull back slightly. I don't need to chase this guy for sure. That 505.50 was that range break right there. So it's kind of like flagging up there. This one, this year Mag 7. That's a big move, right? Big move here. Apple. I mean, we saw a lot of this big bounce off the lows, right? Amazon, big bounce off the lows. Google, this is at Mag 7, big bounce off the lows. So this is what's moving the market. Microsoft, big bounce off the lows. This is why Qs is outperforming at the moment, right? So these 3 or 7 can change things for sure. So keep that on your radar. But we want to see breadth. We would like to see breadth. We don't have to see it. But yeah, it's by a little tired up here, man. A little tired. Love you too, Steven. This is my boo. Bite it on the mic. Kurt. Also, they made China accept China acceptable chips. Yeah, that news has been out for a bit. So maybe that's weird that would move. That's probably why one of our guys went short, because that's old news. Emperador Maximiliano WD-40 recession proof. Yeah, no joke. If you don't know, what's this WD-40? Oh my god, WDFC. Yeah, this stock recession proof, man. Look at that. No joke. All right, guys. Anton, I agree. Frank is a G for sure.
Frank is a G.
Frank is a G. Yes, Mason. NFP strat. If you guys don't take the time to figure that out, join one of the groups. It is a game changer. Biggest market hack ever. Illuminati. Oh, all right. We got a request from Walmart. So Walmart, we had 160 calls. Target acquired. Boys and girls, if you're not out, I don't know what to tell you. Walmart 160 calls were entered down here. Target acquired. That trade is in neutral right now. No trade from here. We'll let you know when something comes in. Mason asked about IWM. I still think IWM is like the biggest catch-up trade of the group. I'm long IWM. I'm long TNA. I'm long a lot of IWM in general. TNA is 3x leverage IWM. I'd be long IWM as long as it's closing over 193.40. Like I would have to have multiple days. I don't think I would close IWM. Sorry. Even if I have a couple days closing below this, I still don't think I'd close it. This is legit. If I had the sixth spot, like if I was able to pick an ETF for 2024, yeah, you bet your ass it's this. Everything else from an index perspective is closing at their highs. This is not. Let me just hide all these drawings for a second. This is not even close to its highs. This is that 2-year consolidation base also. Yeah, she's long. She's long. Sorry. That's my 2 cents. Cool. Amit wants to know Palantir. Palantir, yeah, you know what? A lot of people looking at Palantir at that 15 level. I think you basically hit it. And you bounce very strongly. You hit that 15 level here. I think you're good. So you fill this kind of like earnings gap. This is one of those that go into that small cap index for sure. I think you're okay. You fill this. I think everybody was waiting for that 15. There are some stocks. You get this nice volume shelf. It's like 1550 right here. This guy. I think you just tagged this and that was it for right now. So I think you can be long Palantir and just hold it, right? Like I wouldn't really close Palantir unless I'm below 14. Unless I'm like closing below 14. It's the only time I would really close it. I haven't been a Palantir fan for a long time, but after this long of a base, I think you're okay. I mean, I wouldn't be a Palantir fan if at 40. Sorry. All right, guys. Oh, yeah. Lena, PayPal, it's recorded. Hey, TrendSpider in the house. The only thing, Lena, what I was saying about PayPal, so from an investment perspective, so PayPal, we'll look at a technical really quick for you. TrendSpider. Let's just do this for TrendSpider. I have, where's my TrendSpider? I'm going to do this for you. Okay, so I think you have a bounce on PayPal. You want to get over this shelf like 62. Yeah, man. There you go. So here's the thing. PayPal, you're absolutely like a value stock, no question. But like from an investment perspective, what I was saying is like, look, we lost the CEO. I was in this guy, but it wasn't this losing the CEO, it was losing the CFO. There was one call, they lost the CEO and the CFO almost like back to back. And that was kind of like the death blow for me. For an investment, I need to have those visionaries on board. And I need to be able to see like what's the longer term vision of the team. For right now, I think, we're in for a technical bounce, no question. We can see like, here's this level. We call this an order block right here. So here's your order block. Let me see. This is basically 57.50, right? So when we're looking at technicals, we're looking at the low, and then you look at the low right before the last low. So this is the last low. This is the low before the last low. From here, I want to see it reclaim here, and I want to see it hold, and I want to see it continuously hold these prior lows, if that makes sense. Right. And I'm basically just going across and across. And so as long as we're holding what really comes down to this volume shelf, 58, 59 bucks, I should be good. And if I can get over 63, that's really a nice trade. and then I can get to 73. But that's where I call it, right? So if we can get over this to 64 on PayPal, then you get to this 63 and change, and you fill what we call this low volume pocket, right in here. And that's going to be a quick move, but it's not until you get through that. Anything over than that is kind of like that's kind of like a pipe dream. Sorry, just because you don't have that like leadership. We don't have that visionary behind this. So until we have like a team that we can get behind from a leadership perspective, it's not like investment grade, if that makes sense. So Lena, that's the story on PayPal to me, right? Be it what it may, right, wrong, or indifferent, that is my 2 cents. But the papier, look at you guys all coming out of the woodworks. Oh man. Last one, OIH, oil services sector. The ketchup of all ketchups. Not to be mistaken with mustard. So I need to go to the weekly to show you this. So this is actually a pretty solid uptrend. And I like this spot right here. So this is oil kind of getting shellacked just a little bit. So if we're testing this uptrend here, this is actually where you do want to buy. If it fails, we're going to look at this kind of volume shelf right in here. But this is a weekly chart. I can even drop this down to like monthly. This would be like your SLB, things like that. This sector is completely beaten down. So, we're tagging our 20-day SMA. If we do fail there, sure, then we're gonna take a bit of a beating, probably back to that 225 level. But I don't see us losing that. We shouldn't lose that right now. That's gonna actually hold us right over here to this. So last low before the low. I kind of like it, man. If we hold, that could be your spot. But it's a very beaten down sector. It's not a dead sector by any means. SLB is my pick in this sector, as you know. Same kind of setup off your 20-day. Oil services. Cool. All right, Lena. Appreciate you guys. That's it. Sharky, Frankie.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada
Let's
bing.
see what we get.
Did we go over? Oh, we are right on time. Boys and girls, look at that.
1 o'clock.
Questions, comments, concerns, confessions. TrendSpider, W for showing up.
TrendSpider.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready for the market to go down a little bit here.
All right, guys. We'll see you out there. We'll see you on Spaces.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, Sharky, Frankie, and me, we're going to be live Thursday. If you're in Sharky's group, you're in my group. Everybody's invited. Futures trading.
It's actually a week from Thursday.
Is it a week from
I
Thursday?
changed
We're
it.
gonna, I think
changed
there's a scheduling thing. Well,
Okay,
that's
fine.
a change.
So not this Thursday, next Thursday. Sharky and Frankie going to do futures trading overviews, approach a day in the life of Sharky and Frankie, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm excited for that. You guys should be excited for that. We're going to have a little combo of multi-servers going on, if that's cool. And then maybe we might see if Aces wants to throw it out there for a couple of Spaces fans. But until then, guys, we'll see you out there. I love you.
Awesome. All right.
Have a good one,
Have a
guys.
great week, everybody.
Peace out.